Okay, fam. Coach Cece coming to you live from Birmingham, Alabama. Listen, you guys, I got another question. The question is, should I build a team or should I operate my business alone? Great question. Okay, you guys. Building a business, especially when you're starting out, you may have to do it alone. But while building that business, you want to be working on um, building a team, because this is what happens when you building a business alone. There's no time for anything else. And the difference between being an employee and an entrepreneur is when you an employee, you work for someone for a certain amount of time. But when you is an entrepreneur or business owner, you work for yourself and everything rides on you. You're working on the business, not just in it, but on it as well. So everything rides and falls on you. When you become a business owner, you have to answer all the calls. All the calls are on you. Every phone call that comes through, the calls from the clients, the calls from the caregivers, the calls from the background checks, the calls from the recruiters, people who want to know about your business. All the calls, you have to answer all those calls. Every call that come in is on you, and the calls are very important because the calls are the big part of your business, because a call can make or break the business at some point, because if you missing calls, then you missing money. So your phone is very important. So you gotta be the person that's handling the phone. You gotta be the receptionist, the person that's dedicated to handling that phone. You got to be dedicated to that phone. Then you got to be the person who do all the recruiting. You got to be the person who go out and get the clients, who do the work to promote for the clients. You the word of mouth person. You out there hustling. You out there getting the clients. Not only that, you got to be the person who do the onboarding. Once you get those clients, once you get those caregivers that you out there recruiting for the business, you got to be the person that do the onboarding. So you answering all the phone calls, you recruiting for your business. Then you doing all the onboarding by yourself, all the paperwork, all the computer, all the training, everything rises and falls on you. Then another thing, you got to be the person, the scheduler. Once you get your people up and going, you got to be the scheduler, the person that's doing the schedule. And the schedule is very important because you got people who calling out, you got people who calling late, you got people no calls, no shows. So, you got people want overtime, you got people, want part-time, want full-time. So you is the person that's in control of that schedule all day, every day. Okay? So, and remind you, so this is you trying to operate in the business alone. And you got to be mindful when it comes to your billing and your payroll, because you the one got to receive those invoices. You the one got to send out the invoices. You're going to be the one that's in control of the billing, the clients. You're going to be the one that's in control of paying the employees. So billing and client is going to be very, very important. You're going to be the administrator, the administrative assistant, the administrative supporter, the scheduler. You're going to be the billing and payroll department and human resource department. You're going to be the receptionist that's taking care of all of the phone calls. You're going to be the marketing department, because you the one got to go out there and recruit the clients and the caregivers. You're going to be the compliance person that's handling all of everything that's supposed to be standing compliant. You're going to be the person who doing all of the policies and procedures that got all the paperwork done. You're going to be the person who doing it. Okay? Everything rides and fall on you. Even the legal risks, the liabilities, everything rides and fall on you, guys. So running a business or trying to do a business by yourself is going to be overwhelming. At some point it's going to overwhelm you. You may start out like that, but at some point you need to consider getting you some help. Because Rome wasn't built in a day by itself. You're going to need, and if you don't, you're going to need to get an administrator. You're going to need a scheduler. You're going to need a recruiter, a person who can recruit. You're going to need a person who can do the onboarding. So there's a lot of things that go into building a business, you guys. There's a lot of things that goes into building a business. And so if you are with a client and you talking to the client, you're doing an assessment on your client, and then the phone start ringing, who gonna answer the phone? That could be another potential client. See, then you just miss that client because you can't stop talking to your client that you in their presence at their home to answer the phone. Then they may hang up and then another client may call. And so by the time you finish your assessment, by the time you get through enrolling this client into the business and you leave, you done missed 10 or 12 calls and lost 10 or 12 clients because guess what? They done called somebody else. And somebody else done got their business. So starting a business, trying to do it by yourself is gonna be difficult. You're gonna need to in the beginning, but as you grow, you're gonna start needing to pay people to help you to do the business. You're gonna have to put yourself in a position to pay people that'll help you to run the business. It's best to run the business with a team, because when you're running the business and you have a team, you gotta build a team. And when you run a business with a team, then that leverages your time. And as a business owner, that's what you're moving towards. You're moving towards, the whole goal is moving towards not trading time for money. The whole business is moving towards leveraging your time. Okay? Leveraging your time. And that's going to be very important when you trying to build a business. So yes, you're going to need to build a team. At some point, you may want to look into trying to build a team, and if it's things if it's things in the business that you don't know, you can always have the person who know how to do what you don't know how to do and pay them to do it. That's called being smart right there. That's how smart brings things. How business owner thinks. Business owner thinks if it's something in their business that's going on that they can't do, they're going to hire somebody to do what they can't do. They're going to have specialists to come in and do those things. They're going to have specialists to come in and do the recruit. They're going to have specialists to come in and do the onboarding. They're going to have specialists to come in and do the administrative work, handle all the calls and all the mailing and all the emails and all the text messages and all the paperwork and all that. They're going to have somebody to come in and do those things. They're going to have somebody to come in and do the schedules. They're going to have somebody to come in and do the recruitment. Things that they can't do because they need to leverage their time. They're trying to build a business. So as your coach, I would say you may start out like that in the beginning, but as you moving forward, you need to consider building a team. Some people, I worked with a girl one time and we was working and she had a sitter business. She had a sitter business. She had started out in a sitter business. And, you can't be everywhere at the same time. And it was difficult for her because when we was in the facility requires sitters, and she was providing providing the sitter service, but she was trying to do it alone. She was trying to do it by herself. So we'll go in one room as we go in there to take care of our client, our patient, and we'll still sitting here. And when the time up with that patient, she got to go to another room, and we'll still sitting there. And then late at night, we'll go to another room, and we'll sit. And she was just getting exhausted. She was just becoming overwhelmed because she was trying to do all those people by herself, 3 and 4 clients round the clock, 24 hours by herself, and that would just wear you out. How can you run your business if you're gonna be the sitter and you're gonna be the business owner of your sitter organization, but then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna be the sitter 24/7? You get what I'm saying? That's going to make it hard for you to run your business. So your business is not going to be very big because you can't be everything in the business. You have to build a team. Every team got a different part that it works, and every part of the body is very important. And every part of the body has a specialist that's working, taking care of that part of your organization. So it's going to be very wise of you to start building a team as your business begins to grow. Like I said, you may start out like that, but as that business begin to grow, you're going to need to build a team that can help you to navigate all those different elements in your business so that your business can be successful. Because you still got to make sure that everything in your business is under compliance. Everything that's that's within the legal parameters of the organization as they should be. So as you moving forward, I would say, you may not want to start. You may start out operating in that business and running that business alone. But as you begin to grow and as you begin to move forward, a wise decision you may want to consider building a team so that that business can be successful, it can run effectively, it can run smoothly, and you won't be wore out and burnt out and full of anxiety, and then get to a point where you feel like, I just can't do it no more. It's overwhelming me. It's just too much. It's just too much. Of course it's gonna be, because you can't be the whole body. The body have many different parts, and with all those different parts, you're gonna need somebody to come in and service all those different parts so that the body can grow, your organization can grow. That's why I said build a business plan and set goals for your business. So as your business begin to grow, my sisters and brothers, you will begin to flourish in that business. You won't be trading time for money, and you'll be leveraging your time. Okay? I hope I help you. I hope I help you with the question that was asked. I hope you all got it. You know what I mean? And it helped you guys so that you can know, in order to be successful, it's going to take more than just you. We always hear a little saying that say, it take more heads than one, because everybody don't think the same. And so it kind of helps you to get out of the box when you're dealing with other people's decisions and other people's thoughts, because some people are more advanced and more experienced than others, and so we need to always have a coach somewhere, somebody that can mentor us and that helps us, takes us to the next level. Some of us has become great because we walked on the shoulders of other people who had went before us, and they was very experienced, and they came back and shared those experiences with us. They came back and told us, what holes not to go into. They suffered the L's. They went through the L's, so we wouldn't have to experience that. So it's very wise, to have a coach, to have a mentor such as myself, to help to lead you and guide you in the area that you need to go in. So with all ado, if you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments so that I can answer those questions for you. If you need my help, I'm here to help you to grow your business. There's my leave your number and your name. Let me know you're interested, and leave your name and number, and I'll call you and we'll set up a consultation so that I can see where you are and where you need to be. Okay, and we can move forward in the areas that you need to move forward in. Okay, so if there's any more questions that you need to know or that you have, give CC a call. Coach CC, ready to help you launch this business and ready to help you to be as successful as you can be and ready to help you walk into that millionaire status, baby. It starts with growth, and you got to have faith, and you got to be committed, and you got to be disciplined if you want to reach the top. Amen. CC, coming to you live from Birmingham, Alabama. Got to get back to that job. Y'all got to get back to taking care of my clients, taking care of my patients. Guys, I love what I do. I have my own home care business, and I'm a nurse taking care of my clients as well. Amen. So with all due respect, I love you guys. Remember, if you need a consultation, leave me your name and your number, and I will give you a call and set up a consultation, and we can get started on you building your brand new home care, non-medical home care business. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.